Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. And last night we had the first night one of the Dead and Company celebrating their 60th anniversary there in Golden Gate Park. They played on what they call the polo fields there at the park there in their hometown of San Francisco. And I already shot the video last night. My review of that, I couch toured the show, and Billy Strings was the opener. Billy Strings played not quite a full Billy Strings set, but kind of longer than a regular opener set. And he was incredible. You wonder, of all those 60 or 70,000 people, how many people were really familiar with Billy Strings. Of course, Billy's a bluegrass artist. He has a bluegrass band made up of virtuoso players. And, there's no drums, so it's different vibe. But boy, is it jammy, and I'm going to do a review of that show. Billy came out. It was still daylight. I think it was 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Seemed like it was kind of hazy, slightly overcast, but beautiful. People were out in groves, and he comes out in an orange kind of camouflage hat with a camouflage button-up, or excuse me, a tie-dye button-up shirt, and launches into the first single off of his new album, Gilda Lily, which is one of my favorite songs. And, by the time he hits that bridge the second time, people are going crazy and dancing and having fun. He sounded great. His band, is made up of Billy Failing on banjo, Alex Hargreaves on fiddle, Jared Walker on mandolin, and Royal Assat on bass, stand-up bass, and Billy plays guitar. Billy has an acoustic guitar, but he has ways to modulate it to make it sound like an electric. He has looping techniques that he does. He has some phaser techniques that he does. And they go straight from the great song Gilda Lily into Dust in a Baggie, kind of his first big song that kind of made some action in the music world. Dust in a Baggie, 20 long years for some Dust in a Baggie, just cranked out. People were again moving and dancing to it. We then got a nice little note on Jerry Garcia's birthday. Yesterday was August 1st, 25. We got Shady Grove, which Jerry Garcia did with David Grossman back in the 90s. They had a nice little CD called Shady Grove that I loved. Hellbender was next. Again, Billy being Billy, ripping through this kind of cosmic bluegrass, this jam grass, if you will, showing his techniques. The next song was Away from the Mire, another original song of Billy's. Now he's starting to use the delay pedals. Now he's starting to use his effects, cranking things into high gear with some electric guitar tones. Royal Masset plucking away, looking suave with his sunglasses and his dress shoes and all dolled up for the night in San Francisco for the day. And of course, it's still daytime. He then says, "I want to come down and get a good look at you." Billy says the crowd, and he kind of walks down, and they all get around a can microphone, like an old-time 50s type microphone, and just play through the one mic. So the crowd of 60,000 has to be really quiet to hear 5 men around a single mic, with Billy playing his acoustic with the sound hole up into the microphone. And that's when we get the song, "If Your Hair Is Too Long, There's Sin in Your Heart." He said, we think you guys need some preaching too. And of course, it's all tongue in cheek. "If your hair is too long, there's sin in your heart" was awesome. He referenced the Grateful Dead at the end of the song, and people cheered. Billy Failing singing some backgrounds with some falsettos that were high, which was kind of cool. Royal Massat's got that kind of baritone voice. And then he said, "Let that be a lesson to you," he told the crowd. Next song was Pig in a Pen, again around the can microphone, but now everybody's playing their instrument. Pig in a Pen was a great way to maybe pay tribute to the great Pigpen, and clearly that was the intention here with that. Again, he's got to be winning fans over because the music is played so well. And later on that night, he would do an incredible Wharf Rat with Dead and Company. I'm going to put a link to my review of that show in the description here. Then he does the band introductions, names off his guys. He tells the crowd that he's so happy to be there and that they're nervous. Even though, Billy's not nervous. Billy's a professional. He's the coolest guy in the room. Anytime he's in a room with people, he's awesome. Red Daisy was next. Really nice harmonies. Again, Billy's band, they do it all. It's wild to think about a bluegrass band in a big, huge 60,000 setting like that, but I know it's killing it. It sure looked good. Harbor of Love was next. Kind of taking you into gospel heaven again. We're in San Francisco, right? People are partying, but we're still singing a little bit of gospel music because that's what one of the things that Billy does really well. Harbor of Love was awesome. It was kind of a pin drop moment where it was quiet. Put in the comments if you were there how quiet it got during the Billy Strings section and what the vibe was like. I'd be interested knowing what it felt like there in person. Again, great harmonies. California Sober was next. The song that he did a duet with Willie Nelson a few years ago about being California sober, as they say. And yeah, I try to be California sober sometimes, but still like to have a couple every once in a while. Oh, the Wind and Rain was next. Again, kind of something that Jerry Garcia would have done with Old in the Way or with some of the acoustic stuff the Grateful Dead did. Billy's smiling. Billy is soaking in the moment. You can tell that he is there in the moment, really enjoying this, really enjoying being asked to perform and open up the weekend for these greats. And then the last song was a song called Thunder, which is a song written by the great Robert Hunter, Jerry Garcia's lyricist, Jerry Garcia's co-writer on really everything that Jerry did throughout his career. Long, huge instrumental jams. He's using his looping effects again. He's whipping the crowd into a frenzy. Just a long intro. This song was played when Billy Strings performed with Bill Kreutzmann back in 2021 with Billy and the Kids, and his band has also been doing it since 2021 also, the song Thunder. He then gets the whole band to kind of screech to a crawl where you can just hear the bass being plucked by Royal Massett, and then he whips it back up. Has some 60s distortion going on the guitar. 60s distortion that was very reminiscent to like 1968, 1969 Jerry Garcia Gibson guitar sounds. Very trippy for those early birds that might have been tripping a little early. I can only imagine that was a fun time. And then he takes you just into heaven with his jamming. I'm sure this ripper of a set converted some new fans and made some old fans very happy. That's my thoughts on that. Check out the link below on my Dead and Company Night 1 review. Check out my channel. Subscribe if you like this content. We only talk about great music here every day on Intersection Records. Peace out. See you.